Hey all, so I just wanted to get on here and talk about taking allegations of abuse seriously. This has been on my heart for a few weeks, and today I was like, well, it's just time to talk about it for a moment, especially with all the headlines recently about husbands shooting and killing their wives or their kids and other accusations that have been out in the headlines recently. So yeah, we have to take abuse allegations seriously and investigate and find out the truth. Because the majority of the time, people who claim that they've been abused are not lying. There are people out there who do lie about abuse, yes, but a lot of the times the accusations are not false. And a lot of the times, we don't want to believe the abuse accusations because it's against someone who we think would never do something like that. Like the headlines recently about the lieutenant governor, he was in the government, he was a public figure. And, there was some sexual abuse allegations many, many years ago before he shot and killed his wife recently. And, he was never prosecuted for that. So, people don't want to believe stuff like that. And I'm not here to say that he abused those women sexually or not, but it probably wasn't taken seriously. And, now this whole tragic thing with his wife being shot and killed. So we have to take this seriously to find out the truth, to find out if someone did abuse someone else or they didn't. Because if the truth comes out somehow that the person didn't abuse somebody else, we have to hold that false accuser accountable too. And I want to bring up some of my own vulnerable testimony here that I've never shared publicly like this. Some of the people closest to me, they know about this. But so when I was 14, I was in a group home for a short time. And long story short, the reason why I was in the group home is because I had ran away from home. And, I was not happy about some family things going on and confused about who I was, my identity, and I ran away from home. And they put me in a group home for running away from home. So at 14 years old, I'm in this group home for a few days, and one of the night workers, because they have night workers to walk around and check on the girls to make sure they're okay. One of the night workers came into my room, and he was double my age, so he was 28, I was 14. And this particular guy I had not met the days prior that I was there, so this was the first time seeing him, meeting him. And the room was dark, of course, because it was nighttime. It was time we were supposed to be asleep. And he came over to me and he said some things to me sexually, and he put his hands down my pants and said some things that I still remember to this day that I'm not going to repeat right now, but I am almost 40 and I still remember what he said and what he did and his face. And I was like in shock. I had never met this man prior to this day, and all of a sudden he's coming in there and he's saying these things, and then he touches me inappropriately. And he does it so quickly that I'm in shock, like, what is going on? It's almost like I was frozen. And then he tells me that he will be back. Now, thank God he didn't go through with the full sexual assault. He did touch me inappropriately under my pants, but there was not the full sexual assault. But still, like, it's still etched in my mind. And how I was just, I don't even think I said anything to him. I was in shock. And thank God even though he told me he was going to come back, he did not come back that night. And that next morning, the first chance I could get, I called my mother and I told her what happened. Because I was scared. And thank God my mother believed me. But my mother at the time was the only one who believed me. My stepdad, my mother said later on in life, he didn't believe me at the time. And it didn't go to court because they thought I just wanted to get out of the group home. So the judge and all that stuff, my mother said they wouldn't. I was never interviewed by anyone. And I can't even imagine like how many other victims he had if they would have believed me. Maybe I was the first one to ever speak out. I don't know. But had they believed me, maybe other victims would have been courageous enough to speak out too. Yeah, I think I've thought about that over the years. I don't think about it a lot anymore, but sometimes I'll think about it and I wonder just how many victims he had after that because they didn't believe me. Because I was the 14-year-old teenage girl that ran away from home. So she must be lying to get out of the group home. I mean, sure, could that happen? But I wasn't. And I am so forever grateful to my mother that she believed me, because if she hadn't believed me, I mean, he might have come back that next night. Or maybe the fact that I told on him, he would have stayed away. But either way, I'm just so grateful that she believed me. And so it's stuff like this that I'm talking about. Nobody took my complaint besides my mother seriously. No cops interviewed me. No forensics people interviewed me. Even the staff at the group home did not. Nobody. And yeah, nobody. Except for my mother. So we can't just judge accusers based on who they are, or even if they're engaged in bad things. Like even teenagers who ran away from home, you still have to take their complaint seriously. I mean, it doesn't matter if someone's a churchgoer, a prostitute, a stripper, a lawyer, a teacher, like no matter their occupation, a drug addict, no matter what they do, you have to take it seriously and look into it instead of just saying, oh, they're lying because they're a drug addict, or they're lying because they're a stripper, or they're lying because this or that, or they're lying because they're trying to get back at somebody. Does that happen? Yes. We can't just assume. And this guy was, an overnight worker, hospital staff. I don't know his exact title, but he was an overnight worker at a girls' facility. Think about that. Think about how gross that is. At a girls' facility. So he had a clean record. But just because somebody has a clean record, don't mean they're clean. And I don't know how many victims he had before me, and who knows how many victims he had after me, but sometimes, unfortunately, the people that we see as good guys or good women are not as good as they appear to be on the outside. They're not. So take it seriously. Don't minimize it. Don't assume that someone's lying, and don't just assume that, you don't even necessarily have to assume that someone's telling the truth, but you gotta look into it, especially if you're a police officer or a judge, or you gotta take it seriously. And I forgive my stepdad. I forgive the hospital staff, for not doing anything about it, for not believing me. But it's just a lesson for all of us. These headlines the last couple of weeks, my testimony, and I'm yeah, I'm kind of, I don't know what else to say now besides just take it seriously. And if you're a victim of abuse, know that there are resources out there, and that if you're a real victim of abuse, there are resources out there, and there is someone who will believe you. There is someone that will help you heal from that traumatic experience. And listen, it's not just women who are victims of abuse. Sometimes it's men. Sometimes it's men. Yeah, the stats are higher that men are abusers and women are victims, but sometimes it's the other way around too. So we got to take it seriously. Yeah, well, I just hope that you understand the importance of this topic now, if you've never really thought about it much before. And if you're a victim out there, I just hope that you have hope. My mother believed me, so somebody will believe you. So reach out to someone who can help you. Resources to get you out of this situation you're in, to help you heal, like therapy. Even find a good church home, people. Pray over you, trust in God. Yeah. Well, I think I'm kind of all out of words to say on this topic right now. I pray y'all have a good day, good night, whenever you're watching this. Thank you.